Shout out to Ricky Manor for posting about this debate. Heaven to the Contra versus Officer Tits.
This thing's going with, I don't know if they're filing charges against the chief or if it's even going to go that far. I have my own opinion on that. But do you think it's possible that this guy or whoever it was is not factually correct on everything he told you?
Yeah, I think
So Officer Tatum is basically a police officer bootlicker, and he claims he's got an inside source that was there during the Uvalde shooting who's been letting him know the truth about how the mainstream media is spinning this in a direction that's not accurate and it's not what you think. Now, for all we know, the person he's talking to is not even on the police force. They just lied and said that they are, right? Officer Tatum is just the kind of idiot that would allow someone to fool him like that. Otherwise, the person could just be lying. It's a very bad look, right? And when you look bad, you would like to come up with a counter narrative to cover your ass, right? So if you got a gullible idiot like this guy that just cares about views and clicks, right? You could gas him up. No, what the media is saying is not true. We didn't have any shields. Those pictures were fake. So he's asking Officer Tatum, is it possible the information he got might have been incorrect? And he says yes, but keep in mind, he's also asking about maybe the guy is just saying stuff to cover his ass. Listen to what Officer Tatum says.
I think it's possible. You know, obviously, I've done this for a living, and I understand that some people, they call it the haze of war or whatever, the fog of war. Sometimes things can be not remembered properly, and that's totally fine. And
the haze of war. So not lying, not spinning, not trying to cover your ass. It's just a shield. I thought I had a shield. Maybe. Like my badge, or I don't know. Fog of war.
After looking at everything that I've looked at, I think that the guy who gave me intel was like 99% correct.
I think the guy that gave me intel, Officer Tits got some intel. Is it a Pentium or is it 486 with a DX2 math coprocessor? I'm aging myself.
Correct on everything he told me, which was verified by many different sources. I think there was a few nuanced details that I understand when the stuff hit the fan and shots are being fired, that the small nuances may be a little off.
No chance that he lied to you. If anything he said is incorrect, it's honest mistake, right? This guy that Officer Tatum probably doesn't know again, he probably doesn't even know if this guy actually is who he says he is, right? And even if he is who he says he is, I'm sure Officer Tatum doesn't know this guy, right? Doesn't know anything about this guy, about his character, his reputation, right? He's just taking the word of some stranger on the internet about what happened, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
I'll just say this. I think the only thing that he got wrong was the door situation. I think he interpreted that they used the Halligan, but the Halligan wasn't used. The key was used on the door. Everything else was pretty accurate.
See, and
this is a really good part about the keys. The keys, not the cocaine, but the keys for the door. Listen to this.
That's the thing that I'm really confused about. So Chief Arredondo did the interview with Texas Tribune, and he said they were trying different keys for 77 minutes. And
now listen closely to what he said. They were trying, this is what they claimed, they were trying different keys for 70 plus minutes. Think about the mechanics of what that means. Don't just hear that. Actually act it out in your mind. Imagine that you're the guy that's trying different keys. Go through the motions. What do you do when you're trying different keys trying to open a door? Obviously, you put the key in. Then what do? Right? How do you know the key works or not? There's only one way, right? You turn it. And if it's not the right key, it doesn't turn. You try another key. Pop it out, pop another one in, you turn it, you pop it out, pop another one in, you turn it, right? You keep doing that until the door actually turns. I should say try to turn, not turn it. You turn it, you turn it. You try to turn it, right? Because it's not going to turn until you get the right key. So remember that. They claim they were going through all these keys for 70 minutes. Now listen closely to what Officer Tatum responds with. Remember that part. That part.
He was praying that wouldn't work. That's whatever they put in the article. And then the DPS director did his whole thing and said that a key wasn't even needed. So is that a cover up? Is that that doesn't make any sense.
Officer Tatum's already shaking his head. You already said, right? Trying different keys for 70-something minutes. And then the other guy says, turns out they didn't even need a key. What? If you didn't need a key, then that means the door could just be opened. And if the door could just be opened, then when you put a key in and you test it, what happens then? Right? If you put a key in a door that doesn't need a key and you try to test it to see if that key works, which means you try to turn it, what happens then? Tell us, Officer Tatum.
Sense.
Well, let me speak to that real quick. He's saying a key isn't needed in hindsight, right? At the time,
He's saying a key isn't needed in hindsight. That in no way explains. In fact, that statement ignores the glaring question of how do you try a door for 70 minutes that doesn't need a key and not realize it doesn't need a key? And his response is, well, they didn't realize it didn't need a key until after. But that's the whole point. Why wouldn't they? If you're trying keys for over 70 minutes, why wouldn't you know in the moment? And what is it in hindsight? What changed? What changed that allowed you to, after the fact, realize you didn't need a key? What did you do different? Before, you were putting in keys and trying to turn the door, and somehow it wasn't turning? And then later, you turned the handle without a key, and then it turned that time? What?
nobody knew that the door was not functioning properly. According to the protocol at the school, every door is supposed to be locked. None of those doors are supposed to be open. They cannot lock from the inside, so they're supposed to be set to the lock mechanism setting. They were.
If the doors are supposed to be locked, but it's not locked, and you put a key in there and you try to turn it, why doesn't it turn? Why wouldn't the door open with a key when it's already open? Doesn't need the key, right? Door that's open, you turn the handle, it opens. Door that's open, you put a key in, you turn the handle, it still opens. Are they trying to say that the door that was open doesn't turn when you put a key in it? That's the only way this makes sense. You put the key, you're trying a key to open this door that's already open, and then the handle doesn't turn because the act of putting the key in makes this open door now locked. Is that what Officer Tatum's trying to tell us? Soldier boy, tell him.
At the school, every door is supposed to be locked. None of those doors are supposed to be open. They cannot.
So now keep in mind what he's explaining. What he's saying is divorced from the situation as we know it, what occurred, right? You have to ignore what was said before about the situation, right? If you ignore everything that we know, then what he's saying makes sense, potentially. Because he's saying, how would they know the door would be open, right? Because the expectation is that they're locked, right? That's the protocol. The door should be locked. That's why they didn't realize it was open. I get it. Now I get it. But wait a minute. What about the part about them trying different keys for 70 minutes? Is he even going to address that part? Or is he going to just ignore that and be like, well, they didn't know. They only know in hindsight because, the protocol, the doors should have been locked. And that's why they didn't realize that the door was open, even though they were trying it for what?
Not locked from the inside, so they're supposed to be set to the lock mechanism setting. They were all locked. However,
the lock mechanism setting. Is he a locksmith? Is that like a professional term? The lock mechanism setting. Anyone listening to this right now, do you guys use the lock mechanism setting on your locks? I never tried it. Maybe it's like a special feature.
This particular door, the door jamb with the you say where the
the door was jammed. I was jammed. That's what it is. Jam it on the one. I don't know what to say. Jam it on the one. Comment below. Tell me where that's from. I'll give you $1 million if you can find $1 million somewhere.
I'm trying to think of the name of it. The door jamb where the strike plate is, where the throw goes through, right? Where you push the door shut and the throw goes right through the strike plate into the door frame.
Oh, the strike plate, the plate and the door jamb. The door jamb and the strike plate and the mechanism. Guys, you listen to this liberal media. They are distracting you with their spin and lies. I'm going to tell you what really happened because I got intel. I have an intel source that told me the situation. Here's the situation. You guys think that they could have just opened the door. They didn't need a key. They're a bunch of idiots. But here's the thing. The door has a door jam, and there's a plate in the locking mechanism. And then the door jam, and then the plate mechanism. And then there's a plate by the thing, and then there's a panel. And then also you got to, there's centrifugal force as well as the metallic materials against this. It's a wooden base. And then you got the frame of the door. Frame of the door has the pins on the side. And then you also have the protocol of the doors being locked. Now, the situation is expectations that the door should be locked. How is he going to know the door is open? And also, remember that there's a plate and a door jam. And also, the fact that this is after the fact. Now, in the moment, they didn't know because the door had a mechanism, and the way it was locked was a pin. And also, the way you turn it. And then, have you ever seen a door? You ever went to Home Depot and you see the doors where the doors are hanging? And then there's a thing on the side of the door where the thing goes in. And then there's a screws on the side. You know the screws thing? And then there's a metal panel. And then there's a frame. And there's a plate. And then there's a door jam thing at the bottom. And then you know the way the door swings and it goes in and it goes out and goes in and out. Sometimes doors go in this way and sometimes doors go out that way. There's different kind of doors. You got electronic doors, you got mechanical doors, and these were school doors. These were special doors. These doors actually were upgraded because of things. You guys don't understand. There's a plate and the door jam. And then also the thing about it is you don't know because I have intel that told me that ain't nothing that you see on the mainstream media is true. It's all lies. It's fake news. And I think Donald Trump is so sexy, especially with his shirt off, looking like Rambo. Donald Trump, I want to suck your nipple.
That wasn't lined up properly, and it had the propensity to malfunction, meaning that it wasn't secure. That's not something.
It wasn't secure. That's what it is. It wasn't secure. Goddamn Intel. Pentium.
Something that they knew at the time. I think people can argue should they have tried the door or not, but it's the DPS.
But they were trying the door, right? That's the whole thing. This whole thing began with him saying to you, the problem that he had is they said they were trying it for 70 minutes, trying different keys, and then they claimed that it was open. Those two facts don't match, right? He can't reconcile those two things. And Officer Tatum has in no way addressed that. He's all over the place. The plates and the jaw jam and this and that, jamming on the one. Like, what is he talking about, bro? How do you try to open a door for an hour and then find out it was open the whole time? Can you try to answer that question? Can you try? I mean, is he going to just ignore it? He's ignoring the entire fundamental question that he's been asked. Wow.
Director was saying they never needed the key. In hindsight, nobody thought of that or thought that they did.
Nobody thought of it while they were trying the keys and trying to turn it and stuff. They never thought that the door might be open, right? So they put the key in and they turn the handle and it turns and they're like, nah, son, this is locked. Even though it's turning, it's locked because that's the protocol. It should be locked, right? So this key clearly doesn't work because when I put the key in, it turns and clearly it's locked based on the fact that I put a key in and it turned. So let me try another key to see if something different happens. They put the next key in and they turn it and it turns. So it's like, yo, protocol is the door should be locked. I put a key in, it turns. So clearly it's locked. So let me try another key because this key clearly didn't open it. Because normally when you turn a key, when you put a key in, it's the right key and you turn it, it goes bing, boom, door open, door ajar, or something like that, right? It didn't say anything. There's no green light or nothing. You know, when you go to a hotel, you put your card in it, and it does like a little beep beep or something. It didn't do it. So he's like, it's probably not the right key. Let me keep trying.
Didn't need a key when they were there. That's why Arredondo was trying for keys. And that's why ultimately the BORTAC unit used actually key to open the door.
They used the key to open the door. So they were trying a bunch of keys to open a door that's open. And somehow in that situation, they didn't realize it was open. But then in the end, they got a key and they used that key to open the door that was open the whole time. What?
Yeah, it's just really confusing because
Look at Heavy Duty's face. Heavy Duty's like, say what? But let's see how good Heavy Duty is for debates. Is he gonna hammer him on, yo, you didn't reconcile how you can try for 70 minutes and not realize it's open? Now, the only way that could be is if it's a thing where the door handle never turns. Like the way that it's locked or unlocked or whatever, like he said something about modes. It's a door that you can unlock it to where you can just simply pull it open without even turning it, right? So you're supposed to just pull it open and it would open, right? But your expectation is that it should turn to open, right? Turn to pull in that little piece that keeps it locked. That's what you're focused on, not realizing that thing is in a mode where it's in. So all you need to do is just pull the door in or push it out or whatever, right? But if that's the case, I would think while you're fidgeting around with different keys, at some point in time, it would move. Because if there's nothing there keeping it secured, whatever you said, in tail, if it's not keeping it secured, then you can't be fidgeting around like that, right? Because that's what's keeping it from swinging in or out, right? While you're turning it, you're applying pressure to the door, right? So I don't see an explanation how you don't know the door is open. Even with that complicated scenario I just created where, maybe the handle doesn't turn, but the thing is in. So, right, even that, it's like, maybe you try one key, but you can't be there for 70 minutes trying a whole bunch of keys, and you never notice that this door that doesn't have anything keeping it closed. Right? Forget about the turn or no turn. If there's nothing keeping it from swinging in or out.
Because I'm picturing a door, and if you were able to put a key in the door, you're able to twist the knob and see if it's open or not.
Oh, heavy duty country, delivering the goods. Look off stage face. How am I going to tell him that MAGA is number one and I love Trump's booty cheek?
That part just doesn't make any sense. So what you're saying is that they're supposed to be locked and they just didn't try.
But what about the trans swimmers? The trans swimmers should not be allowed to be in the same pool with normal human beings, right? The trans swimmers. Wait, what are we debating again?
See if it was unlocked, and they just kind of were.
Well, so the way it was is that from all the
way. Let's get into this. This is off the thing. You get your hats and shirts. They're selling like crazy. My hats. I got a new hat. Got a new T-shirt that says "I love Jesus more than I love Trump." Or I love Trump. I got you want one that says "I love Trump more than Jesus." We got those are high price, and we got the ones that I love Jesus more than Trump. We got that one as well. Or we just got the plain shirt that says "I love Jesus," and it's only gonna be stale for a couple of days, and then that's gonna run out, and that's gonna be it. So go on the website, go on my website, and go order my Jesus shirts because I love Jesus. You bitch, you're a bitch. I guess that doesn't really work for people that didn't see the live stream where Officer Tatum was calling some other guy. They had a disagreement. I mean, he was totally gangster, ghetto, the exact same stuff that he calls out. So for those that didn't see that video, anyway, continue.
Information that I have is that they perceived that it was locked. Arredondo is perceiving.
They perceived. Oh, that's what it is. Now I get it. The reason when they put the key in and they were trying it and it was open and they didn't notice because they were perceiving that it was locked, right? So I'm trying to try different keys, and in my mind, I'm thinking this door is locked. So when I turn it and it turns, I'm like, okay, I see it turning, but it's locked. I know it's locked. And I say to my partner, hey, man, I put a key in and it's turning. What do you think? And he's like, oh, well, the teacher said it's locked. Oh, okay, let me try another key.
That is locked. It's the way the school is supposed to be. All the other doors were locked, and he was trying a master key on other doors so that they can have the proper key to breach. And I'm not justifying what
he was trying it on other doors. So they were 70 minutes trying the key on other doors, not this door. That's what it is. I got it now.
I'm just giving the facts. And so
he's just giving the facts. Alternative facts.
It appears that they believed that the door was locked. They used the key, and when the
facts, you Tatum.
Tech team went to the door, they just simply put the key in and they set it to the unlock setting before they opened the door. So they never actually pulled on the door, and the door wasn't so floppy that it just came open when they began to put the key in. So it had a level of security. Now let me say this.
Oh, so he's going with that thing that I came up with earlier, trying to say that it was secure enough. Well, I didn't say that part. I was saying it would flop around. He actually brought that up. I was saying it would be flopping around with all the messing with the door for so long. He's saying somehow the door was magically secure. Because think about it. if it's able to not move while you're messing with it for over 70 minutes, that means that there's a force of resistance being applied to this door in some way that is greater than any force applied to it in that 70 minutes. In this chaos situation where adrenaline is rushing, they never applied more force to the door than the force that is being applied to the door by something other than the locking mechanism to keep it from flopping around. Now, what exactly that thing would be? I mean, I'm not a doorsmith. I'm not a doorsmith. I'm not a locksmith. I'm also not a professional doorman. Well, not like a doorman, a door expert. I don't know, whatever. Subject matter expert of doors. So maybe someone is listening who knows doors better than me, not Jimmy Dore. And can explain what it is that would keep a door from moving in and out while you're messing with it for 70 minutes. What part of the door would be resisting movement? The only thing I can think of that would resist that kind of movement for that period of time would be a mechanism specifically designed to do that. So there's a part of a door keeps it from swinging open or even when it's not locked.
Let me clarify this. When you look at let me ask you this question. Did you watch the entire hearing?
I watched a lot of it.
January 6th hearing? I'm just kidding.
It started to piss me off, honestly, so I had to shut it off.
So a lot of this information is crucial because it was a 4.5 hour, a little bit over 4.5 hour hearing. Senators were asking questions, and a lot of this stuff was covered. So they weren't able to determine for a fact that the door was actually open. They believed that it was open because the shooter went in and out the door twice. The door did not have a lock malfunction. They just believed, based on the shooter, that the door may not have latched and was shut. But they could not prove unequivocally because nobody tried the door. Even when Bortek went in, they never tried the door.
The door, because the guy was coming in and out, and then the thing was on video, and the presumption was that it was locked, and also they didn't try it at the time. They didn't try it because the door was presumed to be locked, and the guy come in and out. By in and out, like you saw him, he went in and he also came out. By seeing that, it was like, yo, that door is locked.
So they don't know if it was actually locked.
They didn't know if it was actually locked. I got it now. I'm up to speed. Officer Tatum is a beast. He's destroying heavy duty country right now. Look at heavy duty. He's like, I don't know what to rebuttal with that, man. I'm gonna have to filibuster or something. Officer Tatum, but did the guy say something about the thing, and then the officer was in the van, and then there was an old guy that was outside, and then what about the shots and the fire, and then the lady said the stone, and then the stone, and then also why was the lady the teacher didn't call, and also the truck that flipped over, and also answer all those questions, Officer Tatum. Answer. Oh, see, you don't have any answers, do you? You can't answer. Why you can't answer? Because you know you're wrong, Officer Tatum. You know you're wrong. You wrong. Okay, debate is over. I win. Ha ha ha.
Unequivocal evidence if it was locked or not.
They unequivocal
derived the fact that the key may have never been needed, given the fact that on camera they could see the shooter going in and out the classroom. When, according to his testimony,
because of seeing the shooter going in and out of the classroom, they presumed it was locked. Because you see the shooter go in, and then you see him come out, and while they seen him go in and out, they aren't going after him and stopping him from killing the kids because they're analyzing the video in that moment. So at that moment, they're doing a video analysis. They're like, oh, there goes the shooter. He just went in. Okay, what's going to happen next? Hey, should we go try to stop him? No, hold up. Let's examine the situation. Oh, look, he's coming back out. Look, he just went out. Okay, well, should we try to get in the door? Well, he was coming in and out, so the door must be locked. So let's get the key for the door so we could go in and out because he's going in and out. So that means we can't go in and out because clearly the door is locked. Why would the killer go through the door and not lock it behind him? Duh.
The door could lock. It's just that
the door is capable of being locked. I wasn't fully understanding it, but now I get it. Now the door was capable of being locked. Good job, Officer Tatum. Got him.
It was difficult to secure the throw into the door jam. So
yeah,
it was difficult to secure the throw into the door jam.
People are coming up with this idea, but it's not even unequivocal that the door
was not even unequivocal. It's not even unequivocal. Is that what it is? Is Officer Tits trying to sound smart? failing miserably. Huh. Maybe he meant to say unequivocally in a way that leaves no would be the best interpretation of what he's trying to say.
Door jam. So
Yeah,
people
no, I
are
get
coming
you.
up with this idea, but it's not even unequivocal that the door was unlocked. And I think that was
It's not even without doubt. It's not even. I think not only is he using a fake word, but the even part makes it ridiculous. It's not even without a doubt. I mean, the best way you could use that word relevant to what we're talking about is the police officer unequivocally stated the door was open. Police officer stated he unequivocally was sure there was nothing that he could do.
a fault of the DPS director by even saying that.
Yeah, I don't know if we can really complicate it that much. I mean, in my opinion, it's a door. Like when a robber goes into a house,
It's a door, not a scumbag Jimmy door, a regular door. Una porta.
most of the time they're going to go and check if it's unlocked before they kick the door in and make a bunch of noise. The part that I'm not getting is how are you not checking to see if you don't need to just shoot it off its hinges or slam it in? How are you just not checking and seeing if that's going to work? I really don't see a way that can be any sort of argument for the cops. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Doesn't Officer Tatum look like someone who knows they're busted, but does he look like someone who's confident in what he's saying? Or someone who's busted and won't back down? Well, I won't back down. No, I won't back down. You could stand me up on the gates of hell, but I won't back down.
Well, I think it's two sides to it, right? I mean, you have an expectation that maybe they could have tried the door before, but then the alternative side to it is that people that are getting to the door is getting confirmation for Arredondo that the door is locked. He's saying the door is locked. So what I'm saying is that the people who are going to pursue the door, try the door, is listening to a person who's telling them the door is locked for sure. And that's why when the task team showed up, they believed that they needed to either breach the door with an explosive breach, they need to breach it with the Halligan, or they need to use a key. So now, if somebody actually checked the door originally, they would have known it was unlocked, and nobody would have perceived that, and it would have been kosher. But when they were being told that the door is locked, it's not, to me, it's not reasonable for them to go up and say, let's risk getting killed to just try a door that somebody is saying they confirmed that it's locked. That kind of makes sense to why I believe they didn't do it.
Well, it sounds like, from what I've read, from what I've seen, from what I've watched as far as the DPS director goes, it sounds like this Chief Arredondo.
All right, guys, this is the Debate Me channel. Debate me in the comment section below. Click on the like button, subscribe, smash that bell, be well. Officer Tatum is a liar. He's a fraud. He's a scumbag. That was a little bit over the top, but anyway. If you enjoyed the video, click on the like button. Come on, you sat here and watched this whole goddamn video and you ain't click on the like button yet. You ain't subscribed yet. What is wrong with you, man? Subscribe, damn it. Feed that algorithm. Give those likes. Let the algorithm know that this was the most amazing video on the platform that you've ever seen in your entire life. Okay, that's a little holy. Shout out to Ricky Manor.